If there is anything worthy to do, there is certainly a best way to do it. Usually, the best way is the most economical way and ends up being the most graceful. What I mean by graceful is flowing in the most efficient way without restriction, with no wasted effort, and with what appears to be relative ease for the one doing it. This can apply in all areas of our lives: economy of movement, economy of thought, economy of speech. Those we look up to in awe intentionally consider these attributes when presenting themselves to the world. If you take notice of any revered world leader, successful CEO, accomplished speaker, talented artist, professional athlete, their movements, their words, their way of thinking, they all appear graceful, purposeful, intentional. There's very little wasted energy, speech, or thought. It's all very focused, deliberate. To be one of the best at anything, I think it's helpful to strive for graceful as a target character trait as we consider how we think, speak, and act. Additionally, many times, grace in action comes as a result of what is not done. Cut away that which is not useful. Bruce Lee, yes, I'm a huge fan, is credited with stating this philosophy to his student Dan Inosanto in reference to his creation of Jeet Kune Do. He said, "Absorb what is useful, discard what is not, add what is uniquely your own." Hence, his focus in martial arts was to have no wasted energy. But I will tell you, where he did focus his energy, man, was it powerful. Graceful in the most concentrated, explosive way. If you've never seen him in action, it won't be a waste of your time to check it out. Being a wellness guy, I'm always looking at new ways to stay in shape, and simple body movements are more appealing to me than complicated machines. Because people have kept in shape for a few thousand years without any fancy equipment. A fitness routine I've been looking at recently is that primal movement, animal flow, body weight training. It's worth a peek. It's similar to Brazilian capoeira fighting, which mimics dance movements as a martial art. The guys that are really good at this type of fitness training make the whole thing look like a smooth, graceful dance. It's deliberate body flow that incorporates lots of different muscles. Trust me, you don't want to waste any movement. You need to concentrate your energy very intentionally. Or consider the animal kingdom, especially when a predator is hunting. They don't have time to mess around and waste energy. Think about a leopard or a cheetah in Africa, stalking, pursuing, and capturing its prey. They're graceful, almost mesmerizing to watch because their movements are so efficient and purposeful. There's zero wasted movement. Think about your favorite pro sports figure. When at their peak, what wasted action is there? How about the most influential speakers you've ever heard? I suspect almost every word was on point with what they were speaking about. Not a lot of fluff in there. Or what about you, when you've been at the top of your game? Was there a bunch of unnecessary thought, action, or words? Or were you dialed in tight? Conversely, have you ever seen someone sloppy or not graceful? All over the place. Tons of wasted energy and movement. Mouthful of words, but not really saying anything. Jumping from one thought to the next like a monkey in a tree. Going from one haphazard task to the next, with no real defined path. Yet, still getting the stuff done, albeit ugly to watch. It's exhausting for them and for whoever is witnessing it. Maybe that's been you. I've been that person more than a few times. I don't like it. It doesn't feel natural to me. It never feels right. I much prefer to be precise, in control of my thoughts and actions and words. If there's a best way to do things, I think that's it, with economy of action. Graceful. With intentional thinking. Graceful. With deliberate words. Graceful. I'm not always in that sweet spot. In fact, more times than not, I'm not, but I always shoot for it. The first step is to be aware of it. Realize when you're all over the place. Second, slowly bring it back to focused, deliberate, on-point action. Make the experience intentional and purposeful. Third, don't beat yourself up when you don't do it perfectly. You are aware of it. That's way more than what most people realize about themselves. And you know people like that. They're a hot mess. Everyone knows it, but somehow they're oblivious. Maybe that's been you. Anyway, if you notice you didn't execute the way you'd prefer, focus on doing it smoother next time. Aspire for grace and flow in your actions. It seems to be the natural best way.